We're going to solve a couple of quadratic equations here by plugging them into the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula tells us that if we have an equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, or an equation that we can put into that format, then the solutions for the equation are given by x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So what we need to do then is, here's an equation that we're going to solve. We have to put it in the correct format, which I like to think of as the equals 0 format, figure out what are a, b, and c, and plug them into the formula for x. So let's go ahead and solve that out. Alright, so first of all, to make this thing look like ax squared plus bx plus c, have to get everything on one side. So we're going to add 23p to both sides. And we're also going to add 15 to both sides in just a second. But adding 23p to both sides gives us 4p squared plus 23p, and that's gone on the right, equals minus 15. We still want the 15 to be on the other side, so we're going to add 15 here to make it cancel out. Add 15 to the other side to balance the equation, and we get 4p squared plus 23p plus 15 equals 0. And now we have the format of ax squared, or p squared, plus bx plus c equals 0. So we can identify what's a, what's b, and what's c, and feed it into the quadratic formula. Remember, when you identify a, b, and c, these here don't have negative signs, but if you have a subtraction happening anywhere, keep the sign in front of the coefficient with the coefficient to make the a, b, or the c. So for the case we have, everything's positive. So we have a is 4, b is 23, and c is 15. That's what we're going to feed into our quadratic formula up top. So here we go. So the solutions, p, are given by negative b, so minus 23, plus or minus the square root of b squared, 23 squared, minus 4 times a is 4, times c is 15, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 4. And now the trick is to evaluate what we have. And remember to use correct order of operations. Minus 23 plus or minus the square root of, and before we do any subtraction, we're going to do out the exponent, and we're going to do the multiplies. 23 squared is going to give us 529, and 4 times 4 times 15 gives us 240, and that's all being square rooted, and it's all over 2 times 4 is 8. So we're going to go to a new sheet here and keep going. So this gives us now p equals minus 23 plus or minus square root of 529 minus 240 is 289, and it's still all over 8. And root 289, if we do that out, is 17. So we have minus 23 plus or minus 17 all over 8. And this gives us our two different options, or our two solutions that are possible if we use the plus sign or the minus sign. So what we want to do is use them separately and see what we get in each case. So using the plus sign, minus 23 plus 17 over 8, and that gives us minus 6 over 8, which is minus 3/4. Alright, so one possible solution for p by the quadratic formula is minus 3/4. The other one, use the minus sign. Minus 23, take away 17 over 8, and that gives us negative 40 over 8, or negative 5. So our solutions for this equation are p is minus 3/4, or p is minus 5. And let's try to fit one more in. It's a little bit different. And if you have time, you plug those back into your original equation. Make sure that they do make the equation a true statement. But I'm going to move on to a new problem here. Let's try let's see, 2x squared plus 6x equals 0. Alright, this one is missing the constant term, the plus c, because remember we're trying to make it look like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Alright, well we're missing the c, but that's okay. Just think of it as being 0, because really you could write this as 2x squared plus 6x plus 0 equals 0. So anytime you've got a missing term, just call it a 0, and then we can say, alright, that means a is 2, b is 6, and c is 0. And we're going to feed those into the quadratic formula. X is minus b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that gives us minus b would be minus 6 plus or minus the square root of b squared 6 squared minus 4 times a is 2, c is 0 all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 2. And now we'll evaluate the insides. 4 times 2 times 0 is all going to be 0 because of the 0. And this is going to be 36. So what we have is minus 6 plus or minus the square root of 36, which is 6, all over 4. And again, we want to use the plus first and then the minus to evaluate our two possible solutions. So now we get minus 6 plus 6 over 4, which would be 0 over 4, or 0, is one possible solution. Minus sign, we do minus 6, take away 6 over 4, which is negative 12 over 4, or minus 3. So our two possibilities for this problem are x is 0 or negative 3.